few questions to put on the soccer. Kirk, I'm Io McKinley from the U15, U16 Soccer's Academy, and I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions to put on the Soccer's website. Is that fine?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I remember watching you play before when you played with my older brother. I was around the age of 5 then. How has the journey you've taken from when you were 10 playing on soccer been?
It's been a lot of fun. I think just growing up, obviously I just love to play the game, and I think the soccer has offered me the opportunity to grow as a player, and the coaching I had there, Batata, Ahmed, Dave Richardson, Oleg, and Brett Hall, and I mean all the coaches, Greg Muir, they were really helpful in my development, and just the opportunities were endless. I mean, I would go there almost every day, and there was always a place for me to play, whether it was with my own age group or playing up, and that club offered me opportunities in other areas too, and then I was able to kind of be scouted and made it to the national team, and I mean, from there it's just been a great experience, and I owe a lot to the people at Soccer's and everything and all the hard work that they do.
What have you done better to succeed from your peers growing up in the youth level?
I think for me it was I was always very competitive and very hardworking, and when I played, I went to practice, and my mentality was I want to get better today, and I want to improve, and I want to do everything I can to win. And I think sometimes a lot of players just showed up and kind of went through the motions, and I don't think you're necessarily going to develop that way. I think you need to go to practice, and you got to have the intention that if this is something I want to turn into something bigger, then I got to work hard at it. I got to put in extra time. I gotta listen to what the coaches are saying. I gotta take in everything and try to become the best player I can be. And I think there's a certain level of just love for the game you have to have, and I think for me, I would go to practice and with the Soccers, and then I would go home and I would play by myself and kick the ball around for a few hours. So it was more. I just really loved the game, and I kind of my whole life was kind of soccer. So I think a lot of guys maybe had different things going on and whatnot, and I think, I don't know, at the club actually, we had a lot of good players on our team. A lot of them have done very well, but I think it's important maybe for a player to kind of develop that mentality of going into practice every day and focusing and really focusing for those 2 hours on getting better on every little touch, on every drill, and I think it's a process, but the more you kind of work at it, the easier it gets, and eventually, you get to a certain level. But, and too, I mean, a lot of it is the people who have helped me. I mean, I worked hard, but if it wasn't for the people, the coaching and the opportunities and whatnot, I wouldn't not be where I am today.
You recently led your UNC Tar Heels to a national championship. This was your 4th consecutive year making the semifinals of the College Cup, but you never won till now. What made your team more special than any of your other national contending teams?
This year we had, I mean, I alluded to it in people have asked me questions about it before. It was very much a family, and every day we went to practice and we went to play games, and we were in it together, and we competed hard against each other, and we fought and battled, but at the end of the day we were family, and if we didn't have a good year, and we didn't have the success on the field that we did this year, I mean, it was a great year for us, but if we had none of that, I think it would have still been a very enjoyable year just because of the guys we had and kind of just the memories we shared and made. I mean, it was very much
while you were preparing for this national title?
I think it was, up to that point, I think you got to look at those games as an opportunity. And either you've done everything you could up to that point, and I think we had. I trusted in my training. I trusted in my experience. I trusted in our team and our system and whatnot. And I think, going into the national final, you're a bit nervous, but it's a good nervous. And you just have the mentality that, hey, this is it, and we're ready, and we got a good team, and let's go out there and give it our best shot. And obviously, there's details and whatnot to that. Making sure we're doing the right things that we need to do as a team, whether it's defending, attacking, whatever it is. And but you go out and you attack it and you go after it. And this is it. So you just go and once the game starts, there's not much thought. It's a lot of kind of reacting to different situations, anticipating things, and you kind of just are in the moment, and your training and whatnot kind of prepares you for that. And I think once the game starts, kind of the nervousness goes out the window, and it's like, let's go, let's get after this, and it's just the same game that it has been the whole year. So, but leading up to it, a bit nervous, but a good nervous energy, a good energy that lets you know you're ready.
How did you prepare to play your best before one of the biggest games of your life?
For me, it was. We came off that Friday game, and then it's all recovery. So, taking ice baths, trying to get the right foods in my body, sleeping, and just recovering, and then. Obviously, playing 2 games that close it's not easy, so you got to have a certain level of kind of mental strength just to be like, once the game goes, if you've done everything you could, and I still had some kind of aches and pains, and legs-wise, we just had a game Friday, so you're not 100%, but you just go in and say, this is it, so grind it out, because you don't get another chance of it. So. I think you prepare and you do everything you can, and a lot of that is kind of a help from, our trainers and from our, the foods that the coaches decide we, eat and all that, and the ice baths that they set up, and even with our strength trainers did a bit of like kind of loosening our legs up and stuff like that. So all of it is part of it, and then but once the game starts, you gotta kind of throw everything out the window and just be like, whatever you're feeling, you push it aside and you fight for, get done when you need to get done.
What are some inspirational words you have to any soccer players trying to make it to where you are now?
I think, that's a good question. I think what they need to do is, you need to have a certain level of persistence and consistency within you. And you got to understand that it's not, my road has definitely not been easy. And I know a lot of other players who have made it to certain levels of success. It's not easy. And you got to be willing to kind of take the hits as you go along. And you got to, I think you got to remain, you got to realize what you're in it for, and for me, and I know for a lot of people that make it, you got to, if you're playing in front of 1,000 fans, or if you're playing by yourself, if you have a certain amount of love for the game, you're going to be willing to push through a lot of adversity, and I think it's important to remember that, if there wasn't all this other stuff and hype and, media and exposure and whatnot, like, you would still probably go play with your buddies strictly because you just love the game. And I think that's huge, just to remember what you're in it for, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Be true to the game, and don't cut the corners. Don't cheat the game. Don't cheat your coaches. Don't cheat your teammates. Do it the right way, because that's character. I think that goes a long way in soccer, and it also goes a long way in life. And then in regards to, I think you need to have a certain level of mental strength. I think you'll see. I mean, as you develop, a lot of players, are real physical when they're young. They're real fast, and when you get to a certain level, all of it kind of plateaus, and the differences are very marginal, and they're small. And what begins to separate top players from good players is their mental strength and their mental ability. And I think when I talk about mental strength, I mean having discipline, being able to focus on what you're doing in the moment. If you're doing a passing drill, you gotta make every pass great. Or when you're doing a crossing drill, you're not just kicking it in. You're aiming for someone, and your intention is to get a good cross in and for him to score. And I think I think a lot of players miss that. They don't focus on, why are you going to practice? You're going to practice because this is where you perfect your skill, and this is where you make what you do better. And because once the game comes, it's almost too late. Your preparation has to be huge, and if you're not preparing the right way, you can get by to a certain extent, but at a certain level, you won't be able to get by because guys are just too good and they're too focused and disciplined. And then I think, you got to be willing to sacrifice a lot. And I think, when you're faced with those sacrifices, you got to ask the question, well, what would I rather be doing? And sometimes, growing up, you have opportunities to go out and have a good time and whatnot, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think you got to pick and choose your times, and you got to make sure that you're not always just having a good time. You're going and you're getting ready for the game and whatnot. And I think once you realize, as you go on, the more you realize how competitive guys are and how hard it is, a lot of these questions and doubts get pushed aside, and you give everything you got, because you don't get, as you go older, you don't get as many opportunities, and it's kind of, for the young guys growing up, it's enjoy it, have fun, but practice and train and spend time with it. A lot of guys, I spent a lot of time with the ball growing up, just by myself, and I didn't, if it was, I would go after school, I would go after practice, and I would just kick the ball against the wall and juggle, and that was fun for me. So, you just gotta keep at it. I think, work hard, be persistent, be willing to put up with, gotta have to have thick skin. You gotta be coachable and willing to listen to coaches, and also, make it a day-to-day mentality that you're going with the intention to practice to improve, not just to show up. But those are a few things that I could go on for a while, but those are kind of main things to keep in mind.
Recently, you've been invited to the MLS Combine. What certain steps are you taking to prepare for this big event?
Well, I think it helps that we kind of went so late into the season. The Combine's only 2 weeks away from me, and I don't have to regain my fitness. A lot of guys that will be there have been out for a month, so they haven't been training, with the team. They haven't been playing. They might have been training by themselves, but I don't have to worry about doing too much. I think right now it's getting touches on the ball, getting some fitness exercises in, doing a bit of strength work, but really it's just maintenance up to that point. And then once the Combine hits, I want to be off running from the get-go and just be flying all the way through. So just kind of preparing, making sure I'm resting and healing up any kind of nicks that I picked up during the season. So it's really just, recovering and then also maintaining my fitness and maybe kind of push
not sure if you remember this, but in the U17 World Cup quarterfinals, you scored a game-winning goal against Belgium. Was that your most memorable value from your soccer career?
Yeah, no, I definitely remember that. It was an awesome thing, representing your country, and I mean, all the work that went into even making that World Cup team, and then scoring a goal that kind of sent our team through to the next round was awesome. But I don't think it's my most memorable. I think actually winning this national title was probably my most memorable, just because it was something that I came so close to for 3 years before, and to finally get it done my last year and really just cap off a great season for myself and also for my team, I think was something that I'm never going to forget. And even, I mean, in a college kind of environment, it's something special because you realize all the people that kind of put in work to it, our coaching staff, and even, I mean, in regards to, the athletic department, there's a lot of people that do a lot of things to make it all possible, and it's, I don't know, it's just kind of like a cool thing to kind of, that's what everyone's kind of working for, and we did it, and I think that's definitely got to be my best experience thus far.
What was your favorite memory from playing on soccer as a youth?
Honestly, I mean, we had a lot of good kind of games and whatnot, but I just enjoyed going to, Soccer City and training and just competing and battling with teammates. And I think, there were, certain practices where, it got intense and everyone's fighting and everyone's battling and, and even, I mean, I really liked indoor growing up. I think that was a lot of fun, and those games were awesome. I had a blast, and it was just fun because, I mean, Soccer's are a good club, and we would win a lot, and it just felt great. And I think, I don't know what my best, we had maybe in State Cup 1 year, we were in the final, and we got into overtime, and I think I hit a free kick in overtime that we won, and that was a great experience. But I don't know, the whole club was awesome for me, just because the players that have been through it. I mean, there were guys older than me that I looked up to, like Mike McGee and I mean, Mike Bradley, Will Johnson, Mikey Stevens, all these guys that were there, and to see what they'd done, and also to compete against those guys when they would come back for the winter and whatnot. That was always a blast for me. But probably just the trainings and the soccer. That's what I really kind of missed about it and loved about it.
Who's your favorite soccer player, and do you assemble your style of play from his type of style?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I think I look at guys that are similar to me, definitely, and I try to kind of take what, they've done and try to kind of, I don't know, learn from them in a way. I'm like a midfield player and a technical player, so I like guys who play the game simply and who also battle. So, I don't know, I think, I'm a big fan of Andrea Pirlo, just because he's so calm and smooth on the ball, great composure, and he picks and chooses. He picks and chooses his times when he goes, and when he does go, I mean, some of the goals he's had and some of the strikes, the free kicks and whatnot are amazing. And I think he's a player that I watch and I see, he's just kind of moving around the field, and he's kind of like an engine in there, and that's kind of how I try to be, and I definitely like him. I don't know what other ones I can think of, but Andrea Pirlo definitely comes to mind as one of my favorites.
Is there anything else you'd like to say before I take up any more of your time today?
obviously, I think the Shockers are a great club, and I think that what they've done for me and for a lot of players is provide a place for people to compete and a place for people in the area to kind of work hard towards something. I think that kind of team environment where you're with guys and you're trying, you're working on your skill and you're competing, and you go to tournaments and it's a really fun journey. And I think as you get older, you miss the little things about it. And I think for any soccer player who's in it right now, I say enjoy it and have fun, but remember that it's not guaranteed, and you gotta keep working hard if you want to keep going with this game. So yeah, I think they're a great club, and I think there's a lot of really good people that work there, and obviously I thank them for a lot, because I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the work that they put in every day. So I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to play for them.
All right. Thank you for letting me do this interview today, and I hope you have a good day.
All right. Thanks. No problem, buddy. All the best.